titillate the juices. You know what? Woo! Right now. Woo! Woo! Woo!
Dr. Hughes invites followers. Oh, let's see if they increase now. Me too. Yeah, wow. Dr. Hughes.
Mock-ass mock.
He's a great podcaster.
Trick-ass mock.
Acknowledge me.
We coming for you, nigga. Fat! Yeah, Dr. Hughes, here we go. Keep plugging yourself, that's cool.
First up, a man whose looks will serve your inner needs and desires.
Dr. Hughes.
Yes, back. Another week off of not doing anything. We got the sleazed with us, kind of. Can we hear you, sleaze? Can everybody hear me? Oh, we can hear you.
What the hell's wrong with my video?
I don't know. You showed up with a black screen last when we were jamming out to the music, and then you came back and it was still with a dark screen. But this is our normal weekly. Somebody's got to have something that's messed up. So no worries. Most professional show in the world. That's all. Reezy's going to show up in his PJs soon. We're just doing it. We're so super professional. What's going on, Philly Sports Pride? F. Cena. Love the storyline. Just not the person who turned. Wow. That take. There are some that feel that way. Yes. We're going to talk about all this and much more. There's a lot of, usually I start these shows and I go, there's nothing to talk about. So when Cody Rhodes is out here,
what do we want to talk about?
I'm usually nothing, Then I let Hansy go off on and just rant about, how I'm a conservative. Did you hear that last week, Sleaze? I'm conservative.
Oh, yeah. That was really entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
He fucking went off. It was great.
Just to give you a little info when I think about all that, it's I like it when he rants. I don't know about everybody else, but I like it when he does that because I don't have to speak so much. And then, those people, Sleaze, that you try to find common ground with all the time. I'm always I don't like the same things you don't like, right? I'm down with Trump and down with this person and that person. And then they still they just won't buy into it. They don't believe you. They don't believe me, apparently.
Yeah. Yeah, he's very paranoid. He's a very paranoid dude. He thinks everybody's got an agenda.
He's one of the best, greatest whack packers of all time, in my opinion.
Yeah.
He's up there. He's no he's no Jeff the Drunk or Eric the Midget or Eric the Actor, sorry, or Beetlejuice. Those are high level whack packers, but he's definitely one of the best. So shout out to you, Hansy. Of course, we're gonna have him on every once in a while. So you missed out. You missed out on that, sleaze, last week.
Yeah, I know. I had a sinus infection that I'm still getting over.
Damn.
But yeah, I was pretty sad that I missed that. I love talking to him.
Yep. So everybody out there, support the show, buy the album, go to the Teespring store. I'm not gonna lie, some of these this merch here, it's a little overpriced, if you ask me. But if I don't overprice it or let them overprice it, really, then I don't get anything. They just take it all. And don't think of it as you're buying something from Dr. Huge. Think of it as you want to keep the show going. You like the show. You would like to donate, but you actually get something in return. So I'm just trying to provide some kind of value there. So go pick up your fanny packs and your pillows with the logo on it and tell everybody that this show exists. I know I haven't been doing a whole lot of weeknight shows, sleaze, but again, I'm going to do the shows when I feel like it. And I think those are the better shows than talking about, what am I going to talk about? Shayna Baszler fighting Jade Cargill on a Thursday night or something. No, thanks.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no.
So, all right, let's just get into this. We'll be hearing from the king himself soon, I'm sure. But Cena heel turn. I didn't expect it. Did you, Sleaze?
No, I didn't expect it, but I called it right before it happened. I said it to my girl. I said, "Oh my God, it'd be so great if Cena turned heel." And then I marked the fuck out. Like, I've been waiting 20 plus years for this shit. So I can't wait to see where they're going with this.
Yeah, this is one of the best moments in wrestling history. I mean, might as well put it over. It's got like the most eyes on it ever. It's did something like 500 million views like online in a day or something. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, there's so many memes, there's so many videos. I'm loving the ones on TikTok where it says like, if John Cena turns heel, I'm turning heel too. Like those those have been entertaining all week. Yeah, it's fantastic. I didn't see them going this way, but it's perfect.
And I got to point out to everybody again, Dr. Huge is right. Just go look at the old videos. Look. Oh, get out of here, Sasha Reigns.
John Cena.
There we go, John Cena. John Cena page. Oh, he's got more to say.
You stop breaking rule number 11 of John Cena's house rules and take your feet off the furniture.
No feet on the furniture, you know, the coasters. And by the way, we used to mention this all the time, Sleaze. John Cena eats babies.
Yes, he does. He does. He's always been a heel. Always. And everybody's coming out saying that. Orton said it. The Miz said it way back then. Everybody's saying the same thing we've always said. He's always been a heel.
I can't believe these people, it's taken them this long. They're crying over it and stuff. He's eating babies.
Yeah. He loves baby meat.
Yep. When he laughs like that, like a villain, all the baby legs and stuff fall out of his mouth. So we known this. That's why it always a little sus that he was going and meeting with children all over the world, Sleaze. I mean,
and then you never heard from them again.
Yeah, and everybody's like, well, they were just like in the Make-A-Wish, and they had one last wish to meet John Cena, and then he ate him. And laughed about it.
That's the biggest conspiracy of all, is that Vince McMahon set up Make-A-Wish just to feed John Cena.
Oh my God, that is a great conspiracy.
It sucks my video doesn't work because I actually pulled out my old 2012 WrestleMania shirt with The Rock and Cena on it.
There's got to be a way you can fix it. If you want to pop in and out, not during this discussion necessarily, but like later on in the show, like when somebody's talking.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Then you try it out. But yeah, we got to see the John Cena merch from everybody. Yeah. You know, because everybody's bought in at one point. Look at right here on my screen. See that John Cena hat? I bought that. That's a $30 piece of shit hat. And I bought it anyway because I wanted a hat when I was about to be live on TV in front of the millions, because I only get spots where I can be seen on TV. Danny, I'm one of those people.
Yeah, Danny.
Yeah, man, he wrote a scathing article on WWE Chamber this past week. Scathing. Tore it apart.
Yeah, he did.
But one of the funniest things is he said Tiffany Stratton is, and this is totally true. This is why it's funny, because it's so true. Tiffany Stratton is wearing so much makeup now. She's getting into that territory where she's starting to look like a man. So
yeah, she's starting to look like a drag queen. It's bad.
You got to calm down with the makeup, girl. All right, chill out. We get it. You know, everybody's gonna make themselves up. They're probably getting punched in the face here and there by accident, but you know, settle down. You're looking wonky, and you're too young to be looking wonky.
Yeah. It's only gonna get worse.
And John Cena, everybody's goofing on him being bald, right? I get it. It's funny looking, especially when you got a whole ring of hair around it, like you're one of these 18th, 17th century monks in England. You know, but fucking, he's getting older, and who's gonna goof on him about this, Sleaze, but CM Punk? He's gonna call The Rock and John Cena bald. Have you looked in the mirror, dude? Have you seen yourself lately?
He's getting a little thin too.
Yeah, like there's a reason why your hair is turning more into the white man's afro. You know?
If they really want to lean into this, and there was somebody that put, there's a rumor about it. when he comes back, he has to have a bald head. Like that's going to solidify his heel turn.
That would be
Is
so
if he
cool.
comes out looking like Lex Luthor and evil as shit.
Yeah, put up the crucifix when John Cena comes around now.
Oh,
so evil.
Loving it.
And this is his last run right now, because I'm starting to think, like, if he's heel now, they really going to just turn him face for the last month of the year? Or is he going to stay heel, be like a part-timer? Because look at how many he's getting more eyes on him this week from pro wrestling, which he loves still, and he's going to leave it for what? Hollywood and everything else? Like, there's more eyes on this than Hollywood right now.
Yeah. And I'm sure he's making a ton of money.
Oh, so I don't know if he's going to go away. Do you think he's still going to, this is like it? He's really wrapping up this year?
I would want to say no, but if he does, they are going to have to turn him back to, hustle fucking Cena at the end. I mean, that's the only logical thing to do. But I mean, he's hitting on fucking every cylinder right now. Like, why would you want to leave?
Yeah, the amount of money that WWE is making right now, the fact that again, 500 million views like overnight is absurd. That means there are kids out there like obsessed with this, and they're gonna replay this video like 100,000 times in the next year or so, and that is cha-ching. WWE loves exposure. That's why they even have these people out here. You see them, they're like plugging them every week. The reaction people.
Yeah.
Oh, hate that.
It's the shits.
There's videos of like kids' reactions when he turned heel, like crying, that are like super viral. It's nuts.
That makes more sense. That makes more sense. I like all that, like actual reactions. I'm talking about full-blown adults out here. Ooh, the waiting for something to happen. It's so cringe.
Oh yeah.
It's so anti-DrHUGEshow and everything we're doing here. Like, imagine I texted you one night and said, hey, you know what we should do? We should start making reaction videos because a lot of people watch those. And then we goofed it up and we actually got viewers. I would hate myself.
I thought of the same thing to myself, because I like literally jumped up when he turned heel. And I thought to myself, thank God I don't have my phone on right now, because I look stupid. I look really stupid.
It's I get it. It's just like the people at the shows that want to be a part of the show, that are screaming and doing all this stuff and standing up on chairs at the end of shows, like Home Alone kid. Oh my God, I can't believe, to every little thing so that they can have the attention put on them. It stinks. I know what you're doing. And I don't see that as entertainment. As Jim Cornette said earlier this week, so what? We got to watch them watch something? Like, we're in the day and age where most of these podcasts out here, they're not doing shows. They're not preparing shit like Dr. Huge and the Sleaze and everybody here. They just go live and they read chat. People give them money because they're pseudo famous. And what is this? And they watch something else that you could watch on your own free time and use your own head to figure out what the fuck's going on, or if you even like it or hate it. But no, everybody wants everybody else's opinions, their reactions to things. No, we don't do that here, okay? We do opinions and stuff like that. We'll talk about it, of course, and for the masses, because we do it at a high level. But
yeah, and most of them that do those, watch-alongs, which are fucking cringe, and those reaction ones, their takes on, like, in the moment are fucking dumb. There's no substance to it. They're not funny. They're not intelligent. Like, it's a waste of time.
Not
watching
handsome.
that shit. Yeah, not handsome.
Not good. No, not good skin. Not what else? They're bald. Right? What do you call them? Bald bitches.
Bald frauds.
Bald frauds. These two bald frauds. Again, CM Punk, I know you got the Sinestro haircut from the Green Lantern because it's all puffed up to hide your bald. All right,
Yeah.
kids. If you think he's cool for calling these guys bald, he's bald.
Yeah.
But the thing is, what's lamer about it is he's not having bald pride. You understand? When you start making fun of other people's balds, and you got a bald yourself, you're goofing on yourself.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty dumb. Pretty fucking dumb.
But CM Punk has been great this whole time. He's still over with you, right?
Oh yeah, he's been fantastic. I think this is his best run in decades. Man,
the CM Punk. Bald Punk is the best run in decades, everybody.
Bald Punk.
Mm-hmm. CM Bald.
CM Bald.
I don't know. Maybe they should all have, a barbershop match.
Yeah, get rid of this hair.
John Cena versus CM Punk, after Mania, of course. He's got to settle his thing with Cody Rhodes. But then him and CM Punk go in and they one of them gets their head shaved. Or maybe both of them, because they both need it. CM Punk would probably look better. I don't know. Just John Cena over here. It looks like he might have a blockhead.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it right now. This Peacemaker.
This Peacemaker.
Oh, yeah. So Cena heel turn. Greatest thing ever. People are comparing it to the Hulk Hogan. Of course, there are similarities and differences. Definitely as big. Definitely.
Yeah. Very, very close, I think, too.
Yeah.
I don't think you can beat the Hogan one.
You still can't.
Yeah, yep. That was crazy.
Imagine if you... Oh, go ahead.
It was more so because when you watch it, the crowd reaction was fucking insane. Like the Cena one was good, but I mean, they started throwing shit in the ring and all that stuff. And he did a promo right after it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was scathing. It was perfect.
Yeah, definitely. The Hogan one is still better, kids. Sorry. I know you think everything that's happening right now is the best. Guess what? It isn't. That
No.
LeBron James, not the best. The Cena heel turn, great, not the best. Imagine if people were throwing things at John Cena and all them. Or imagine this. In the Hulk Hogan one, you got Snoop Dogg out there with Hulk Hogan and the NWO. How much more cringe would that even be? We wouldn't even have liked that at the time.
No.
We would be like, why is Snoop Dogg out there?
Yeah. And the only thing that would have topped this is if he grabbed the mic right after. That would have put it probably on the level of the Hogan one. If he would have grabbed the mic and just said, fuck you to everyone, and said everything that he's gonna say, eventually when he comes back to Raw, or SmackDown or whatever. But if he would have done that, then yeah, it'd probably be closer. But yeah, the Hogan promo after was the nail in the coffin.
Hogan, man. I mean, I know that the people hate him these days, but he was putting in work, brother. Dude, Jack. That's the best one, Jack. He was totally swagged out towards the end, like the early 90s when you'd have like the bandana hanging sideways. And he'd be like all like this, hunched up, making muscles, doing his promos like he was a pimp. Crazy. But it's
time.
the
same thing with Hogan though too. Like he's always been a heel. They're so similar in so many ways that behind the scenes they're both not very good people. Hogan more so. He's a racist and everything else, but behind the scenes, we saw it in Total Divas with Cena, with his rules and his his total pompous ass attitude and all that shit.
Yep. Do you have any more rules for us, John?
A lot of people violate rule number 40 of John Cena's house rules in the living room by forgetting to use drink coasters.
I refuse to, John. No drink coasters here.
Yeah, if you have rules like that, you're a dick bag. You're a huge dick bag.
Remember, I've never seen Total Divas, but I saw one segment of it, and he was basically telling Nikki Bella that she couldn't, like, how dare she cook in her kitchen because now it's dirty. But this is a kitchen that he is physically in maybe like a couple days a year. Like, why would he even care? It's just the fact that it's his and he wants to control. I know a lot of these guys.
Yeah, and he had the hamper thing too. That was totally fucking annoying. I don't know if you remember that.
No, what was the hamper situation?
It was like certain clothes couldn't go into certain hampers and all this stuff. Like he had like 3 or 4 hampers, or it was crazy. Like, stop.
John Cena recognized.
Yeah, exactly. So you tell Nikki Bella like all the time, she's like, I am so sick of this.
Yeah.
But she was like, I can't take him. I could probably take my other boyfriend there or husband. That's why she you heard about that months ago, right? She got in a fist fight with him or something.
yeah.
She's like, I can take this guy.
Yeah, she'd rather have that than the fucking hampers.
Yeah. But when John Cena, like, you know, puffed out his chest a little bit,
John Cena recognized.
She was like, oh shit, I gotta use drink coasters.
Yeah.
He's gonna give me the FU right through the coffee table. Right into the STFU. Right? Yeah. Get it? Because she'd be nagging at him. I've got a whole story. I know what's going on there. I know what happened. That's why it all broke up. So
yeah. Gotta
recognize the head of the household, Nikki Bella.
They should have had a spin-off show of just them. Like that would have been fantastic. Every week him bitching about like dust and coasters and you can't cook in my kitchen.
Yeah. Don't use that trash. Use that one. You know,
yeah.
Random shit. He just makes up things on the fly.
Yeah.
He's got plastic on his couch.
Yeah.
You know, like a grandma. Crinkle. It's like, John, why are you doing all this? He's like, I gotta say, I might want to resell
it. He seems like the type that like only wears a pair of socks once and throws them out.
Yeah. I'm telling you, because he's creepy. He can't be trusted. We already knew this. He was in the Illuminati for years. Nobody gets as big as John Cena and gets to have Marine movies and be Peacemaker and all this and not eat babies.
Yeah.
Fact.
Sacrificing infants.
Yep. Here's a little conspiracy for you. I don't know if you noticed, Lees, when The Rock came out during this whole segment, you know, he was in his over-the-top bell-bottom Elvis in Las Vegas before he died on the toilet outfit on.
Yeah.
And I was laughing my ass off at it. And I looked at the back. He had a Brahma Bull, but not this time. It was like a diamond-studded Baphomet on his back. Did you notice that? That was a goat. That was not a Brahma Bull.
No, I was thinking the same thing. I said, what the fuck is that? And yeah, it looked like a goat.
Yeah. And then all the stuff I talked about before in podcasts a month or so ago when Travis Scott was out here. I forget what other pay-per-view or something he was involved in, but you know, I'm trying to let everybody know, like, listen, he's selling BK burgers. He's got his own fast food burgers. To me, this is all very sus, right? If you're doing this stuff as a rapper. Then you hear his music on a loop all the time through WWE, and it's even stuck in my head, and I don't even like it. I'm like, this stinks. It's so just basic. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of all this, he's kind of Illuminati, and he even referred to it, you know, he's, you know, doing the whole getting rid of the evil spirits around him during this segment. Then he got his Houston concert where people died. Remember, they were getting like things, and his whole concert was like about opening a portal into hell, and it's just, he's a weird dude. The business is weird. I think a lot of this, sure, they're going to just go, oh, it's wrestling, it's a storyline. But to Dr. Huge, this is basically them showing you. They do this at award shows and all this stuff all the time. They tell you what they're into, basically. It's not art.
No, it's a sacrifice to the gods.
Yeah, to the John Cenas.
Yeah.
Something like that. I'm not saying it's necessarily so deep, everybody's in on it and this, but I'm telling you, where there's smoke, there's fire. and how much smoke has been around the entertainment business, and then learn about who's running all this stuff and who they're bringing up. And, The Rock is this Hollywood guy that's now like Satan. He wants people's souls and blah, blah, blah. I'm telling you, there's a lot of truth in the media, is all I'm going to say about that. All right?
Remember when you were young and you were like, hey, maybe I want to be famous. And you were like, if I do this and I do that and I work hard and I give this person my product or show them me, then I'll be famous. And then you realize one day it's like, no, you got to be part of a clique. You got to do the right things and be with the right people.
Mhm.
And that's what it is. It's not, you're good at what you do. You get in with the right people, and it's normally some sick shit, out in the woods and cloaks and bullshit.
Yep. I mean, that's why we still don't know the Epstein client list, really. Okay.
Yeah.
And I
'cause
told everybody.
they're editing the shit out of it. That's why.
Yep. A lot of it's already out there, and it's all redacted, just like all the coup stuff, just like everything. Nothing. They're not going to tell you anything about any of this stuff because they're the ones in charge that did all this.
Yeah. It's going to be so doctored. It's not even funny.
Mm-hmm. So what are our thoughts on the first 3 fingers, then the 2 fingers? Philly Sports Pride wants to know. Do you have any takes on that, Sleaze?
Yeah, I believe there's going to be a third person, and I'm wondering who it's going to be. That's what I think that symbolic shit is.
Yeah, I think so. Definitely, they could throw another person on here. Somebody that not as established as The Rock or Cena, obviously. Like, I wouldn't like throw Orton or somebody with that kind of cachet onto it. I'd let somebody lower on the rung to like really boost them up. But,
yeah, they could do that.
But could it be like a countdown?
Or it's a countdown. Yeah, that was my next thing. Because 3, 2, 1. I mean, but it's a countdown to what?
like we got rid of this guy, or we got rid of this guy, and then Roman Reigns might be like the last one where he holds up the one and then he blows it into the air or whatever he does.
Yeah, I don't know what that was about, but
Yep.
I think the Roman Reigns thing would be bad because it would be so obvious. So yeah, I agree that they should probably go with a lower, I don't know, mid-carder or up-and-coming, main event guy or girl.
Priest, Priest could use a push like this right now.
He could. That would be. I actually thought about that too because Damian Priest he's such a good talent and he's just very fucking stale right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would give him a good boost.
And he's already like kind of metal and evil in that whole deal.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly. Philly Sports Pride. He gets it. He knows we're expert analysts, journalists. Right off the top of the head. We didn't even think about this all week at all.
Yeah. We don't have to do reaction videos and fucking watch-alongs.
Nobody wants to see me doing reaction videos with a mouthful of food.
Yeah.
It's probably what I'm doing. Watching all this wrestling. Yeah, so we covered a lot with... we didn't cover a lot with this. We still have the Travis Scott deal when it comes to this angle in here. He comes in this ring acting like a fool, acting like a noob, like he's never seen wrestling before in his life. And he ends up slapping the shit out of Cody Rhodes, supposedly busting like an eardrum. He's got this big old red eye and black eye going on. I don't know if that was from the slap or what, but yeah. I mean, this Travis Scott, I was like, this kid needs a receipt quick.
Oh yeah, and Cody should definitely fucking give him one because that hit was fucking, I mean, it was full blown punch in the face.
That was crazy. Like, Travis Scott, come on, bro. You know what you're doing, right? You know this isn't real, right?
Right.
Same thing everybody says to me for years. Well, they let this fucking guy in the ring. Come on. And then he goes backstage. Did you see the backstage thing online where he's like, he's all pumped up because the crowd and the adrenaline and all this?
Yeah, it was super cringe. It was
cringe. Yo, bro, yo, like that type of shit. And then it's just like, of course you want to go and do it again. What are you gonna do? Go back and do your fucking auto-tune raps? Your own shows where everybody's dying there? Rest in peace to all those people that go to your shows.
I love you.
Oh.
And die.
Yeah, and die. Yeah.
Rest in peace.
That's what I'm saying. Like with the, I'm telling you, there's something to what I'm talking about as far as the spookiness that it surrounds this angle. Really, all these guys. You remember John Cena, basically kissing China's ass and talking Mandarin, like, I'm so sorry, so sorry.
Oh God, yeah, it was fucking terrible.
Crazy. What's up, Greg? Shout out to you, bro. Don't forget, everybody, get liking, subscribing. If you haven't, you got to subscribe on YouTube. We got clips over here. We got the audio podcast that gets put up over here. We got the lives. Hit the notification for the lives. Tell everybody about this. We're on X right now. We're on TikTok right now. We're all over the social media. Some numbers are better than others. I really would like to get the YouTube ones up because that would be the ones that actually keep us around forever and ever. I mean, X is cool. TikTok's cool. But, you know, nobody gives a shit about that. Like, as far as monetization to get ahead in this world, like, how can we be better than Pat McAfee? And Pat McAfee is literally doing laps around us. How is that possible? It's all up to you guys. You guys have to, you guys got to put us over.
It's a fucked up world if Pat McAfee is one of the best podcasts out there. It's a fucked up world.
Number one color analyst.
God.
Really?
Ugh.
All right, guys. I mean, you guys want this.
Mm.
Fucking crazy, man.
Look at his face.
Yeah, they like that.
Yeah, apparently.
WWE loves that. They fucking love Pat McAfee in that 80-pound head. I can't get... And you know what? People are just starting to go, oh, you know, lately, I don't like this Pat McAfee. It's like, thank God, people are at least starting to get it. They're starting to wake up. Even some of the, I heard Conrad, again, talking with Jim Cornette, and he's like, you know, Pat McAfee really sucked at WWE Chamber. He's always sucked.
He's always been terrible. It's so funny because the other night, I was thinking about a time when we weren't doing the show, and I watched something and I heard his voice, and I'm like, who in the fuck is this guy? And I put it out on Twitter at the time. I said, who in the fuck is that raspy voiced fucking moron? And somebody came back to me and said, oh yeah, that's Pat McAfee and da-da-da. And I'm like, the fucking punter? Like what are they doing right now? So then we come to doing the show again years later, and this fucking guy is still around. Blows my mind.
And I get it. I watched the NXT stuff. I think he fought Adam Cole in a match.
Oh God.
He was this is the thing, Sleaze. He was in the NFL as a punter, okay? Just
Right.
being in the NFL, even as a kicker, you can move around, right? I don't think this wrestling thing, I know this is gonna shock and awe everybody that watches pro wrestling, especially the kids. Guess what? It's not that hard to do.
No.
It's not hard. If you can move around and jump and run a little bit. They got Becky Lynch out here in Sports Illustrated, the number one wrestler of all time. Have you seen her before, anybody?
Yeah.
Do you think she's the height of athleticism?
No,
not
at all.
So it's not hard to do. Pat McAfee goes in there, has a good match, especially after training with professionals that have been doing it for years and wrestling against them and everything. Bad Bunny does it. Logan Paul does it. It's not because it's hard to do. All right. If that was the case, there wouldn't be more pro wrestlers than human beings on the planet at the moment.
Right.
So
it's just all it is cardio and timing. That's what it is. And not taken away from any of these people that have been doing this for years or in it now or whatever. But if you have cardio and timing, you can get it. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be athletic. You have to know the timing. That's what it is.
I mean, and even the cardio part, do you really even need that? Does Goldberg need cardio, really?
No, not really.
Did Viscera? You know, these guys
Oh
like
God.
this. You know, it's easy. And you got people the size of Rey Mysterio up to giants that can do it and everything in between. It's
Right.
not, I'm sorry, Undertaker. I'm not like impressed just because you managed your pain and were a company guy and you had a great character. I'm not taking any of that away from you, but I'm not going to give you a fucking Purple Heart, you know, because you're a wrestler and you were good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, people? That's why I think everybody's putting, especially the Undertakers of the world, because I don't know if you've heard the news lately, but Mickey James is no longer going to be on this LFG show. Maybe not this season. Could be this season, might already be taped. I don't know. But next season, I guess Michelle McCool's taking over. And
Oh,
they say it has nothing to do with Taker. But it seems pretty odd that after the last episode I watched where Taker's all mad at Mickey James and said she's got something coming or whatever, then all of a sudden she's not going to be on TV anymore. So,
oh God. And it was the time that I didn't really watch. But is there one match that Michelle McCool had that you can fucking remember?
that's a no.
I never got why there's such a big deal about her. And obviously it's because of who her husband is. And if you believe like that she deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, like you're fucking delusional.
It's
It's
the undie effect.
yeah.
Yep. This Undertaker, that's why I can't put it past him that he had something to do. He's all like, this is a competition. And okay, I'll give him this. It's a reality TV show. Maybe that was all a work, and the whole TV show is a work. And he has nothing to do with any of this. But it just fits in storyline wise so perfectly. Michelle McCool, his wife, is taking over next season. So come on.
Yeah, I gotta hear the behind the scenes stuff because I can't imagine that Mickey James would sit there and say, okay, one season and I'm done. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? With no interference from Taker.
And you've been keeping up with the show, right?
Yeah.
So the problem is, everybody, if you haven't been watching, Mickey James had Michelle McCool come in to help teach the kids or whatever. And Undertaker saw that, went up to her in the middle of them training and was like, well, this is a competition. And she's like, well, I thought you asked me to come in here at some point. And he's like, well, I did, but for me, you know what I mean? And so he was irked by it. And then right after that, Michelle again goes, hey, why don't you go ask the Undertaker and see if you can use one of his moves tonight, which, to these older guys, especially like an Undertaker, that's like a big no. So to me, it felt like this was all set up for Michelle to take over, and she was going in there and causing problems, not necessarily with the first issue, but then to go, yeah, just go ask my husband and ask him for his moves. Like, when she was doing that, I'm like, she's totally setting this chick up to fail one way or another. Either she gets the move, which she did, and she used it in her match or whatever later on. But, I don't think that puts her over with Taker, even though he says it does.
Yeah, it's disheartening to really think of Undertaker in a bad sense because for years you're like, oh well, he was a locker room general and he was this and he was so positive, but he's turning out to be a real dick behind the scenes. Ever since he retired, and you're getting to know Mark more, he's a real dick.
And it's not even like, I don't think he's not necessarily, I don't know the guy, but I'm telling you, like, I know Charlie, Godfather, and he told me the Undertaker's great. Hung out with the Undertaker all the time. So, okay. But these are all the type of guy where I think in a certain environment like wrestling, where there was, especially back in the day when there was a pecking order and the Undertaker's at the top of it, I feel that he throws his weight around too much for my liking, even though he's earned it, whatever in this realm, that it's kind of like, dude, chill out. Everybody knows you're a legend. It's like what we said about Bubba last week or a couple weeks ago. It's like, you don't have to give us your credentials. Everybody knows what you've done. You don't really need to throw your weight around.
Right, and that's the thing with Bubba Ray too. Like, if you listen to Busted Open, and I love him, you know, I'm not shitting on him whatsoever, but he's constantly got to bring everything back to him. You know, any situation or any topic that he gets into, it always has to go back to, well, when I was in ECW, or when I started WWE, and it's get beyond yourself.
I'm sure these are all fine people. As I say, there's a lot of speculation and everything. We can only go by what we see on TV, right? But I think a lot of us are seeing the same things. And if it's all a big work in a reality show and all this, then good. I'm here to get worked. I'm here to get swerved. WWE Chamber did that for me last week. That's why I'm loving what the WWE's been doing. Raw was good, very solid Raw, solid ass SmackDown last night. I know it's not hard to write these shows, but they got something going on here, Sleeves. Like every facet. They finally woke up with SmackDown last night, and they explained what's going on with the tag titles, for example, like with the board. And if you think that's like really confusing, you should see the Continental Classic stuff over in the AEW side. That makes no fucking sense.
Yeah, that was absolutely fucking confusing.
So, but I love it the way the WWE is doing it. Then it gets you like, oh, we know you need a story so that we care about the matches. So they gave us what the story was, what's going on, and how everything's connected. If you've missed anything in these long ass shows every week for the past couple months, and then they gave you the matches. It's really simple, guys, and they're doing it. Even the stuff with taking the belt off of Shins last night, giving it back to LA Knight, makes all the sense in the world with the timing. I mean, they're killing it right now.
Yeah, they do. Definite good choice in taking the belt off Shinsuke, because I forgot that the belt was on Shinsuke. Like, I really did, and it was a terrible run. And it's not on his part. It's just I don't know if they knew what to do with him.
Mm-hmm. I think this might be one of the last times we see Shinsuke Nakamura. I think they put a lot into this new entrance, the samurai bit, the spitting in the face. He's the evil, Japanese man.
Yeah.
But overall, this run was stale as fuck. Like, there's nothing going on with this.
And Shinsuke is, it's frustrating because he's such a good talent, and he came in and they had, big plans for him and stuff like that. But it's like, he needs to go back to Japan. I think it'd be better for him. It's going to make him have more longevity. I just don't think that he should stick around.
Yep. He was so white hot when he first got into WWE. Like, even NXT showed up over there and wrestled Sammy. And at that time, he was like super over. He was known for those long matches over in New Japan and all this. And that's the time that they really needed to do something with him while he was like that hot. Same thing with Kevin Owens. When he first got in, that's as hot as he's ever been. And he's never come close to that. Same thing with Shins. They had him win a Royal Rumble, people.
Yeah.
And then it turned into nothing.
Can you imagine that? Just a couple of years ago, he won a Rumble, and now seeing him where he is, like, it's drastic.
Terrible. Thank you, Shins. Yes. But yeah, you go back to Japan. We love you. But this thing here, whatever's they're doing with you, they're not figuring it out. You're like Cesaro to them.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good comparison. They just don't know what to do with them.
No, it's a shame. But how about this? The next big news from Chamber. There's a lot of this is Chamber's notes, but this Jade Cargill comes back, swerves everybody, goes like she's going to beat up Liv Morgan, and then attacks Naomi. Bianca screaming in the cage in the Elimination Chamber. Terrible acting, but still, I'll take that over not doing it. So, what did you think about that whole spot and what's been happening since then?
I love it because they need to do something with Naomi. This whole glow thing that's been going on for fucking years, to me, has gotten super fucking stale. And I think her turning heel is perfect for her right now. If they would have done it with Bianca Belair, it wouldn't have been as good, because I think that she's in a good spot to stay a babyface. So it's perfect.
Yes. Naomi, especially last night, more bad acting out of both of them. I mean, but what do you expect? They're pro wrestlers. They're not actresses first, and they're doing it in front of an arena of people, not on a set that's being edited and put out to everybody. So I take all this into consideration. And you know what? This is television, folks. This is what we've been asking for. So if you didn't like what was happening last night and what's going on with this angle, you don't like wrestling, apparently, because this is really what it is. They got to set up a story so you give a fuck when they go into the ring and wrestle each other.
Yeah, and a lot of people like afterwards were shitting on the segment and everything. And it's like, you got to look at it like this. They're challenging both of them to do something totally different than they've done. So this is the first time of like character development for both of them. And I think they did good. I mean, yeah, it was, the acting is whatever. But I think they put 100% behind what they did last night. And I think that was great.
Yep. You can't lose if you do that in pro wrestling, acting wise. You put 100% into it. Even if it comes out a little weird or cringe, good.
Yeah.
Good. That's what I'm here for. I want the cringe.
I felt it. You know what I mean? After that, I'm like, wow, that was I felt that shit.
Mm-hmm. And then she said, I wish I pushed her harder. I wish I pushed her sooner.
I did it for The Rock.
Yes. She should have said that, and then The Rock comes out and is like,
Trailer park trash.
Yeah, that's that whole thing. Yeah.
Hey, might be Naomi, who's the third person.
Hey, you know what? All these groups need a female in there. So, the sleaze left after that. He didn't even like his own take. He's like, I'm so embarrassed by my last take there that there should be a female in this group. He took himself right off the podcast. Unbelievable.
No yeet.
No yeet. I guess we're not going to do it then, because WWE takes all our ideas. Oh, look at that! I got my comic books over here. So, when I show you some comics in this broadcast, you're back, sleaze.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah, you got a phone call, maybe like Reezy.
No, I just lost connection. I still don't have a goddamn picture, but
How much you want to bet Reezy's not on because I didn't send the link directly to him and in the group chat?
Probably.
How much you want to bet?
No, because I'm with you. We're not gonna bet.
I'm not sending the other one just for the goof of it, just in case. So there. Here's another topic real quick. Do I need this ticker anymore? Because nobody seems to use any of these links to anything. So why isn't it going away?
Yeah.
What's your favorite wrestling show? No, I don't want that. Yeah, I was gonna get rid of this ticker because
it's working out good.
I can't get rid of it now, and I wanted to.
Oh, jeez.
I was gonna make a bit about it and everything, but oh well. Yeah, nobody clicks on any of this. Nobody goes to my ex from this show. Nobody goes to the TikTok. They don't like them. They don't subscribe. They don't go to the Dr. Huge store in Teespring. They don't go to the self-titled album Dr. HUGENSTEIN, which is out now, by the way, on Spotify. And I was going to take it down forever. But you know what? We're going to have to come back and do that because it won't let me. I'm stuck with it now. So fuck everybody.
Yeah, yeah.
Just look at it forever and never do anything about it.
Yeah. Maybe
it's scrolling too fast. Maybe they can't read that fast, Sleaze. Maybe. Maybe they're stupid.
I'm going with that.
Let's just call the audience and all the viewers stupid. Okay? It's good for business.
Idiots.
That's right. Well, it works for The Rock, right?
Trailer park trash.
Again, yep. We'll slap the syphilis off your face if you don't click these links and do these things that I'm telling you. Anyway.
Maybe that's the new game plan. We just totally shit on the fans.
Yep. We threaten them. We try to get them to meet and greets in person, and then we grab their neck and we push the phone into their face. Like, fucking subscribe and like it.
Yeah, moron.
Yeah. Press the buttons.
Fucking idiots.
I got to get those hand gripper things. Work out my hands for when I grab people by the back of the necks. I remember our buddy Pete Rock when he was a bouncer, and we watched him. He had this woman by the back of the neck.
Yeah,
and he's pushing her out of the bar, but it was the way
he looked like the Terminator as he's doing it.
Oh, yep, security.
Yeah,
good old bar security. Get out of here, ma'am. You're broke. Too broke to do it, Sasha Reigns. That's all right. You're not broke enough to retweet this, though, are you? Are you too broke to hit the like button? Too broke to hit the subscribe buttons, everybody? Your hands hurt? Well, your back's gonna hurt when you get fucking landscaping duty. Talk to huge residents.
I need my bushes trimmed.
Yeah. I need my bush trimmed. That's for sure. Get it? Yep.
Gonna be landscaping these balls.
Yep. Always comes down to these nuts, everybody. Every nuts. Time. So yeah. There's so much big wrestling news now. One thing I find before we stop talking about the big three there with Jade and Bianca and Naomi, I thought it was hilarious. The funniest tweet of the night during Chamber was Bianca after she won, and she's posing and put up this picture of herself or whatever, and she's just like, oh, it's so sad about Naomi, but you know what? I'm going to be fighting for the championship. Like, she could care less. Yeah. And it was so funny how she's screaming and crying during the match, wins the match, then goes backstage and is like, oh, that stinks. Sucks for her that she had her head slammed in by the cage door. So, okay. Yeah. That didn't make too much sense, but all right, I'm here for it. Again.
Oh, God. They got to think before they pick up their phones.
And then the best part of the week, not the Cena stuff, the Io Sky stuff. She actually won. I kind of felt it coming on. I thought it was going to end in a no contest somehow, and then it was going to go to a triple threat. Still looks like it's going to be a triple threat between Io, who's the champ now, Rhea Ripley, and Bianca Belair. But my God, by that Monday, I was done with Rhea Ripley. Like, I don't even think she cut a promo, but they were showing like vignettes of her speaking, and I was getting like physically mad. Like, shut up. I was like, I turned to the TV. I was doing something. I'm like, shut up. You know, when you're like talking to the TV,
shut your mouth.
Like, I just turned around. I looked at the TV. I'm like, shut up. Stop talking. Like, because Rhea Ripley, you was so bad on the mic. Maybe it's not even her being bad on the mic necessarily with her choice of words. It's that voice. That voice sucks.
It's the voice. It's the mannerisms. The whole like sticking her tongue out and rocking her head back and forth, smiling bullshit.
This thing.
Yeah,
she's a tough guy.
Yeah, a tough guy that constantly is smiling, and it's annoying.
Yes. Smiley tough guy. I don't know. And then just so tatted up, bro. Like, I get the gimmick and everything, but geez, you're gonna run out of room soon.
Oh,
so many texts. The piercings.
She needs. And I sent you a text the other day. One of the rumors is that she's pregnant, which I'm really hoping that's the case, because that puts her off TV for at least a year and a half. If you're Carmella, then it's like 2 years. But it'll put her on the shelf for a while. They can rethink her whole thing. She can come back, fresh, and it'd be best for business. If they do a triple threat with those three, I'm gonna be so pissed off because it's so bad for business.
Mm-hmm. And then the baby comes out fully tatted with piercings. Yes.
God.
With leather underwear on and Frankenstein boots. Yeah.
Black,
Yeah.
black lipstick.
Yep. It's like, how did you get black lipstick as a baby? A fetus.
From my mommy.
Yeah. Yep. Passed down from those Rhea Ripley genes. Yep. So, yeah, I also hope that happens. And then she gives birth at Mania, and then the baby's in the triple threat, not Rhea. Let's go.
John Cena's going to be in the back just licking his lips.
Yeah, he's waiting. Like, as soon as that baby, he's like, I've never had a tattooed baby to eat before.
Goth baby. Delicious.
Maybe the baby's already in the Illuminati, the way it looks and everything, and the baby starts eating babies with John Cena.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So many things that can happen with the at WrestleMania this year. One thing that shouldn't happen, though, the one thing this mommy's got going for her is that big chunky booty.
Yeah.
Very meaty buttocks. But these women, they have these babies. Alexa Bliss goes away, has a baby. Becky Lynch goes away, has a baby. And then they come back and their ass is gone.
Yeah. What is that?
That's not how that works, guys.
No.
You're supposed to have like a Rhea Ripley ass when you come back from having a baby. But they lost their asses. So I assume when Rhea Ripley goes away and then comes back, she's going to have a little flapjack ass.
She's going to have a Charlotte Flair ass.
Oh, man, that's one of the worst ones.
Oh, God.
Can't do that. She's going to have to get one of the fake, what do they call them, BBLs? I don't even know what a BBL is, but I've seen it online. And I heard they stink. And I'm not even joking. They like leak. And that ass fluid comes out.
Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you do that?
Because you get surgery on your ass. You want a nice ass.
Oh. All right.
Oh. Yeah, if you're in the WWE, you don't want that nice, voluptuous booty anymore. Go have a baby.
Yeah, or
Come
two.
back.
Yeah.
Yep, or 2 or 3. Yeah,
because it seriously happens. Becky Lynch, Alexa Bliss. Who else had a kid?
Well, Carmella, but we've never seen her ever since.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Her too. What a fucking asshole.
Why?
Carmella?
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't hear about her bitching about being fired?
No.
Yeah, she was like, "Oh, they didn't have anything for me like for 2 years, and they had stuff for other people. Big E was hurt, and they had something for him, and now she's just shitting all over the company."
Yeah. Well, maybe they did. Maybe they kind of just said, "Well, we don't really need her anymore," and they moved on with her without even giving her a chance to come back. That's probably what it is.
Well, here's the challenge for the people that are listening too, and it goes back to Michelle McCool. Can you remember a Carmella match ever?
Yes, I can remember the ones with James Ellsworth.
Okay, can you remember a good match with Carmella ever?
All right, but that goes for 90% of the women, honestly.
But it's like, even when she was out, she wasn't. Maybe it's just my opinion. She wasn't a big fucking deal. She's not a Hall of Famer. She wasn't, up in the, upper fucking levels of Charlotte and Becky Lynch and all that. She was a mid-carder.
Yeah.
And she was a valet-ish to me. She wasn't a great worker. She wasn't a super over fucking worker. So they let her sit at home and they were waiting for her contract to fucking be done. Like, just be good with it.
And how recent was all this stuff? Was this before the Cody Rhodes? I always call him Cody Rhodes. Corey Graves incident?
No, this is recent that they just let her go. But she hopped right on a podcast and started just shitting all over WWE for, I don't know, I guess not like giving her opportunities when she was pregnant and hurt and all this stuff. It's like, God forbid they just wanted you to stay home and get healthy. And now they just said, "Oh, fuck it. We just, they just made a bunch of cuts. It makes sense."
a lot of this has to be because, wives and husbands are going to talk, obviously, and they're probably like, especially with his whole situation with Pumpkinhead and everything and getting moved down to NXT. And he's just like, dude, this stinks. Like, they're actually giving it to this guy that I'm better than. And I understand the frustration with that. I'm not a hater of Pat McAfee, personally. I just don't want him on my TV. And I think Corey Graves is light years beyond a Pat McAfee. Why? Just because Pat McAfee kicked a football? Like, my God, that's cringe.
Yeah. Well, gone are the days of Jim Ross. Of they put commentators in there because they can actually commentate. Now it's like they put a clown out there. It's not, they're not giving you good, not taking anything away from Wade Barrett, who's great, Michael Cole, obviously, but they have to put that clown in there.
Yeah, it goes like this: Corey Graves, Wade Barrett, Pat McAfee, as far as the color side.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And I think Tom Phillips, it goes Michael Cole, Tom Phillips, everybody else.
Right.
And Tom Phillips I don't even know if he's still in TNA or Impact, but I don't understand why they got rid of him either. Unless he was just sending out too many of those messages, you know what I'm saying? Could be that.
Yeah.
But yes. Anyway, EO's the champ. I'm loving that. Cena's a heel now, loving all that. CM Punk's fighting with everybody. They're still kind of doing everything that we wanted them to do when we did the older show back in the day. We used to always talk about open up the storyline so it's not like just you got these 4 guys that kind of want the belt. Two of them really want the belt, but then the other 2 kind of want the belt. And then there's just everybody else doing horse shit. Now they got CM Punk is literally feuding with multiple people. You don't know who he could get into it with next. Obviously, it's Seth right now that he seems to be top on the list, but that list kind of moves around. And that's how you do fluid storylines here, people. So if somebody gets hurt, you can instantly go, who's next up on the list? What can we do with them? And then what does this affect? Because it's always like, you got to think about this stuff. It's chess, not checkers. You understand, everybody? And they're doing it. They're making this stuff make sense, and they're making it realistic instead of, it's just these 4 guys every week. And here's another 6-on-6 at the end of Raw and SmackDown. That doing that for years just totally killed the business.
Yeah, and it's you're totally right, because they have, like Drew McIntyre, he's got beef with 3 people. CM Punk's got beef with everybody. John Cena, The Rock, fucking Seth. It's all intertwined, and they could go, like you said, in any direction, and it's great. It's not the same fucking feuds every single week, Yep.
And you know who's funny about this the most? Karrion Kross, and I say that. Who follows me now, by the way? Shout out to you, Karrion Kross. You're probably watching this podcast right now as I'm speaking. One of the best out here to do it, and he doesn't even have to get into a ring. He's being interesting, messing with everybody on the outside right now. So by the time he does get back into the ring, it will mean something, I believe, if done right. And he's into it with Sami Zayn, AJ Styles as of late, which seems like they might even team up.
Yeah.
That would be cool. They both have the rock star hair going on. So,
there was a thing, and it's totally true, that every person he interacts with, he does his hair like them. And they had different pictures, and it's true. He just talked to AJ, and he had his hair down. It was all, conditioned and fucking glorious. He's perfect right now. Perfect.
Yep. And again, he's one of those guys, he's involved in so much stuff. He could literally pop up anywhere and it would make sense.
Right. That's what you got to do.
Mm-hmm.
If you flip the fucking channel, like you used to do back in the day, and go to AEW, you have the Death Riders beating up, FTRKO rated superstar, whatever the fuck team that is, every single week. And it's just them fighting. Horrible.
I tried to tune in to AEW this week. And of course, guess who I saw first on my TV, Sleaze? Can you guess?
Moxley?
Nope. It's the same person I see every time I turn it on, no matter what. Orange Cassidy.
Oh, fuck him.
Every
It's
single
the shits.
doesn't matter if I turn it on and watch it from the beginning of the show, he's the first one out. If I turn it on in the middle of the show, he's beating somebody up in the ring or doing a Superman punch or something. It drives me crazy. So I instantly turned that off, and then I came back like minutes later. And this is, again, I haven't really watched AEW Dynamite in a month. So then I tune back in. I'm like, all right, let's see what's happening now. John Moxley's cutting this god-awful promo. And I wanted to like it. And I liked one of his last ones, the one where he was grabbing his crotch and everything, because it was so unhinged and so weird. But then to almost be like doing that type of thing every week, I'm like, all right. And I barely watched this and I was done with this. I'm like, you know what? Enough. Oh, I also watched MJF almost light Hangman on fire, which was something. That was something. And security did their job and stopped him. I mean, unlike WWE, so that made sense. I did like, that's one thing that AEW got over WWE at the moment. When their security comes out to stop somebody, they stop them, because, you know, it's like 15 on 1.
Yeah. I think the problem that AEW is having, and if you listen to Cornette, they'll do like a Dynamite, and then they do like the quarterlies as far as their ratings. So when people turn it on, right, there'll be, I think last week there was like 700,000 people that started. By the end of the show, I think they were under 500,000. So people chime in and they see the same shit that they saw last week and the week before and the week before and the week before, and they go, I'm not watching the same shit. Because that's like every time I force myself to go on any of these programs, Dynamite, Collision, or whatever, it's the same stupid shit every single time I watch it.
It really is. It definitely feels like deja vu for me when, like, again, I tune in and I see a guy in dungarees. Do we still say dungarees? Dungarees?
Dungarees?
Yeah, that's what they are. I'm gonna wear dungarees again, just like him. I'm gonna bring back the all dungaree jackets with the sheepskin on the inside, or the sheep stuff.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look so fresh.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna Superman punch people and spear them and be the hackiest wrestler ever. Maybe I'll do that. You know? So shout out to you, Orange Cassidy. I get what you're doing, but you're not a top guy. Stop trying to make him a top guy. AEW.
No.
I'll start watching again. Yep. Security did something over in AEW. You can't take that away from them. You know, they're better than Adam Pearce. Adam Pearce can't stop shit. Come running in at the very end after somebody's already like paralyzed, and he's like, "Oh, stop it!" It's like, what are you doing backstage this whole time?
Can you imagine, as a pro wrestling show, the biggest thing that people have a takeaway from is the security doing their job?
Yeah, yes.
It's not orange juice. It's not fucking, John fucking Voorhees. It's not friggin' Cope. It's the fucking security.
Mm-hmm. Well, I also tune in for Ambrose and Cope, of course. The scariest duo in pro wrestling. Yeah, that's how scary it is, folks. That's them fighting.
Yeah.
In the dream world. Remember when Hansy was talking about the dream world last week? And
yeah.
I tried so hard to compose myself during that speech. Because Cope was he's gonna get you one of these days. You think that was a demon that flew into you? That was Cope.
I want to get my hands on the shit that he's smoking.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
Yep. It was a little different that I think MJF should have lit what's his name? Hangman Page on fire. I would have let that happen if it was my promotion, but I understand the insurance and all this and him turning him into Freddy Krueger and things. You already got one of them.
Yeah. It's so bad. It's like every time ever since I read that thing where somebody said that they don't have production or creative meetings, like that's all I think of whenever I turn this shit show of a show on and try to take it seriously. I'm baffled. And it's so bizarre because you have Edge, who's been in the business for decades now, right? And I really realized something the other day is that he's not a good talent for another reason. And another reason I don't like him. And I don't think he was ever a big deal. And I can't understand why there were edge heads and all that crap. So he's at his like his own devices right now. And he's putting out the most bullshit crap ever. So he needed a machine like WWE and their writers to make him what he was, which doesn't make you a good talent to me. If you need somebody to pull your fucking strings like all the fucking time to make you an okay fucking product, you're not a good talent. And he's proving it. And he's really just shitting all over whatever fucking legacy he has or people believe he has. And he's not good at this business.
He was great in Vikings.
Yeah, he's a good actor. He's a great actor. He should just stick to that.
Mm-hmm. And you know what's a weird thing? I didn't even know this. I looked at who has the most world titles, like the top 10. You know, Edge is like fucking 5 or 4 or something like that.
Yeah,
in
it's
WWE
gross.
titles.
Yeah. I unfortunately know that.
I couldn't believe that when I saw that. And I'm thinking to myself, that was kind of like the era I wasn't watching, because when I would tune in, I would see John Bradshaw Layfield, Edge with a belt, and I'd be like, oh, all right. I'm not watching. I just move on, because it's just, when you come from the Attitude Era, Ruthless Aggression era, and then you get into that weird, the beginning of the PG era, I was like, yeah, this ain't for me. You know what I mean? But then he actually won the belt that many times. Like, wow. No wonder he's kind of has this thing about him where he feels almost bigger than the business. Like, no wonder. Because I didn't know he had the championship that many times. He really thinks that he's Randy Orton, John Cena. He's like on that level as far as having titles.
Yeah, he's a perfect example of right time, right place. Because if he was in any other era, he would not be what he is now at all. He was right place, right time. He was at a time where they had nobody. They really didn't have anybody, and they had no choice but to push him, because he was the only person that really could do anything at that point. And it wasn't a good product. That just proves that it's just it proves so much.
Yep. So that was the Miz had the championship during that time.
Right.
It's just wow. So yeah, I've never been an edgehead. I'm more of a peep over here.
Yeah, yeah.
The peep stuff is where it's at. But yep. How about this for a topic? You gotta let me know, because everybody they think they got over on Dr. Huge this week. They didn't. They really did on this X machine. They think they ratioed me, which I was ratioed, but I'm still right. It's like with that meme. Why are you booing me? I'm right. So somebody had mentioned, the whole MJF thing. He went on a podcast and said, of course, WWE wrestlers are watching AEW, and if they're not, they're stupid, because they should be knowing what's going on and this and that. And has nothing really to do with that. But then in the tweet itself, it was like, Triple H studies AEW and all that. And I'm like laughing to myself. I'm just laughing. I'm like, Triple H, who is running this business right now with the creative and all the stuff that we've been talking about and the intricacies that are going with it, he is now studying AEW. No. Like, he's watching it probably like how I'm watching it. Other people are telling me more about it than I'm actually seeing. I tune in from time to time when I have a second. I wouldn't call that studying.
Right.
So, of course, he knows who Penta is and who that guy and this guy and that girl is. Of course he does. He's in the wrestling business. He should know who all these people are. And that's why he's going to bring him in. You don't need to study it. It's not study worthy.
No, they do now, and they always have scouts. You know what I mean? That they keep their ear to all the indies and which I consider AEW as an indie. Yeah, and they're looking for the next person to bring in. So of course, but they're not studying it. What are they studying? What not to do
Yeah,
as a promotion?
essentially. Yeah. Oh, we shouldn't do that. If Triple H is studying it, that's how he's studying it.
Yeah. Somebody's going to come up and say, "Hey, I watched last night and John Moxley, tied up like two people and blah, blah, blah." And he probably laughs and goes, "Wow, that's fucking stupid. Like, we're not going to do that, guys."
Yeah, I mean, come on, MJF. And of the wrestlers, are they watching it? I don't know. Maybe. Are they stupid if they don't? Do they really need to? I don't think so. You guys got your own thing going on. Like Seth Rollins has pointed this out in public many times. He's like, listen, this is my company. I'm doing this. I don't really think Seth Rollins on his downtime away from wrestling is going to go watch more wrestling of another company. He's probably going to go hang out with his family or do something like that. So I get there are friends and people are friends in the business and this crossover, and there may be interest because of that. But you think a top star or somebody that's anybody that's like on a weekly show on the WWE is worried about AEW and like, oh, but I gotta understand what they're doing, and especially Triple H, who I said is running the whole creative. He's got enough on his plate right now. Yeah, exactly. Let the interns do it. Get back to me later. I mean, the scouts.
The problem with the AEW is they came out the gate and they said, "Okay, we're taking over the industry," right? And they were big for about a year or two. They had Cody Rhodes. They had all those, people that were chiming in and making good shows and all this shit. The problem now is that they still think they're a big deal, and they have dropped tremendously. And Tony Khan still has it in his skull that he's competition for WWE. And like, if anything, at their peak, they were competition for NXT. They weren't coming close to the overall company. And this delusion has trickled down to some of the talent where they think that they're doing really good shit and they're still competing when the numbers are saying they're not. I said it from a report that I read that was saying that in the 5 years that AEW has been a company, it has not pulled a profit. So there's your fucking evidence right there. And they even came out like WWE said, "Oh, we're getting $10 billion for going on Netflix." And Tony Khan goes, "Oh, yeah? Because we're your biggest competition. We're going to go on Max," which is like in the bottom of the top 10 streaming services. And they still think that they're putting out a good product and there's still competition.
Hey, if they were on Skinamax 20, 30 years ago, I'd be watching. That would be the greatest lead into them sexy time videos, like Bikini Car Wash. One of the greatest movies of all time. Bikini Car Wash.
And rumor has it their likes, their looks, I mean, on Max, like per week, are like in like a 7-digit. It's not like 100,000 even. So they're not doing shit on streaming.
Yep. Dave Meltzer wants to fist fight you right now, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Where are you, Dave? Man, talk about cope. He's been coping harder than anybody lately. Like, even his own co-host there, Alvarez, fighting with him.
Oh, he's retarded. That's why. Like, I chuckle to myself whenever I see that he puts something on X, because he's so fucking delusional. He'll be like, "Well, Collision did 290,000, but that's not including Max." And it's like, okay, so you add another 30,000, it's still dog shit.
I don't understand how I do understand it. They have a billionaire's son running a wrestling promotion, so it's not going away anytime soon. They can just keep burning this money. But man, I'm not going to be bullied out here by these nerds, by these people that haven't touched grass and things or whatever they say. Yeah. There is a huge segment of this wrestling community, online and offline, where they're like obsessed. I don't understand. I knew a few kids like this growing up where it was like they were like so into it. They would tape every show. that was back when there was like 2 shows, 2-hour shows. Now we're talking, it's on every night. Some of these people are literally watching it every single night. It's their whole day. It's their everything. And to me, in the meantime, I get it's cool. I'm obviously into it, but there are other things going on where now you're getting into a weird place, because if you're consuming this much of the same type of content, you're almost like you're in la la land of just pro wrestling, which is scripted matches, and then they lose touch with reality. I feel like Dave Meltzer's gotten into this place because of how long he's been just everything pro wrestling. I get it. It's like your job and you got this newsletter and all this, but oh my God, like maybe take a break or something.
Yeah, go fucking do something else. Like, go take a walk. Like, just see the sun and shit.
Messing
it reminds me of
what?
It like I want to say like mid 90s, right? So you got WWE, WCW. Then there was the internet comes online, and then you had all these backyard wrestling fucking organizations. These fucking kids, 10 of them starting a little league, and people would come to their mom's backyard and all this shit. And it was a big thing. And so people hardcore got into that shit. And then of course ECW comes out, and that's basically what it was. And that's what reminds me, in a sense, of like the AEW fan base, where it's like they're a bunch of fucking dweebs, to be honest, that are doing this stupid shit to get attention on themselves and all that. And that's what I feel like that kind of fan base is, where it's like that's their entire life and they have nothing else, and they're gonna die on their fucking sword for this bullshit.
Yeah, essentially we're talking about the same thing. It's just it's this type of person that they can't be wrong, right?
Right.
Even you got these marks online telling me, an analyst journalist, been looking into this stuff for a million years, pretty smart sometimes. I get it. I get what's going on with all this. I understand why you like what you like and things. But don't you recognize that you're almost like in a cult?
Yeah.
Like I make fun of WWE more than anybody. It's not because I'm showing for them or anything. I could care less if they make money or they do make money. Whatever. I just want to be entertained. That's my whole outlook on all this. But these people, they don't just want to be entertained. They're like in a religious ceremony of some sorts. And like if you disrespect that, it's like you're an idiot. If you say something, if you disagree with something, you're a fool. And how dare you? Of course, Triple H is studying AEW. It's the greatest thing ever. Haven't you heard? It's literally gonna save your life when the apocalypse hits. That's like the type of like language that's being thrown at me out here.
Well, you make an excellent point, because we've been big fans of this whole industry for decades now, but we know when it's bad. And these people can watch Dynamite and say that was perfect when it's far from it. They can't admit that their shit that they're into so heavily can be bad. It's sad.
Yep. And the wrestlers' attitudes, and again, I don't dislike them. They're good wrestlers, but like the Kenny Omegas and the what's his name? Ospreys of the world or whatever, where they're very dismissive of what is. It's like being dismissive of Tom Brady and Michael Jordan and the NBA and the NFL. It's like, oh, well, that's just them. That's how they do it. We do it differently over here because we're better. It's like, no, you're not. That's not how this works. Okay. Don't come here with that attitude where you feel, where you got the smugness that you're better than the WWE. And the reason why I'm not there is because I'm better than that. So fuck you are. You crazy? Did you just see John Cena get a billion views this over the weekend? You know, come on, guys. Come on.
Well, that's what it is. They can't fathom that. Like a lot of AJ Styles, I just watched an interview with him, and he was big in TNA and he was big in New Japan. But it's a much different fucking animal when you get to the WWE. It's like the NFL and college football. They don't understand that. They're a big fish in a very small pond. And they've been there so long that they think they're better than a juggernaut. Like I don't think they could fathom like a 70,000 fucking seated arena or the publicity you get or the fucking opportunities you get. They can't fathom that. Will Ospreay, as good as a fucking wrestler he is, and Kenny Omega would be a mid-carder because they're not the total package. They don't get that either. You can be an excellent wrestler, but to be a superstar and to be on a John Cena level, a Roman Reigns level, a Rock level, you have to be more than that. And they just can't get that into their skull.
Mm-hmm. Got to have that it factor along with the in-ring stuff. Oh, that's all I ever hear about the AEW. Well, they wrestle better and they're better wrestlers. If I don't have a story to go on and it's not engaging and I don't care about it, why do I care about two guys fake fighting each other in a match? It means nothing if there is no story behind it. That's the whole purpose of wrestling to begin with. So when you send a Kenny Omega out at me and he does these meandering ass promos where it's like, yeah, and you know what?
Right.
It's like you already I don't care because you stink. It does. You could be the greatest in-ring wrestler in the world. You're still not a good wrestler to me because the wrestling is a whole performance. And if you can't even get me to the match, you haven't made Dr. Huge buy a pay-per-view because I'm not interested in what you're doing and who you're feuding with. Who gives a shit if you can wrestle good?
Yeah. That's exactly what it is right there. Can you imagine a weekly boxing fucking show? Nobody would watch it.
Well,
because
they do
they're
have
just going in the ring, pounding each other's fucking heads in, and then you fucking move on to next Wednesday and they do the same thing.
It's a good point. They've had Friday night fights on forever. It's not like it's this huge thing, but it has been around for like 100 years or so. And what they do with it is they give you these vignettes of who this guy is and who the other guy is. And
Right.
if they've gotten into it in the past or, pushed each other at the press conferences and stuff like that, they do all that. That's more engaging because at least it seems more believable, even though boxing is essentially wrestling, for a long time too. But they know how to sell matches. That's what you're doing in wrestling. You're selling matches. Kenny Omega doesn't. I don't feel like he's selling matches. What he does is he goes, I'm the best wrestler in the world. Haven't you seen my hour matches over here and there? That's why you buy this one. It's like, well, if I want to go see it, I can just watch your old matches.
Yeah. The thing is, too, to get back to the whole demographic thing and ratings and shit like that. So Kenny Omega will be like, oh, yeah, I'm a fucking draw. And so will Will Ospreay and all this shit. And fucking Mercedes and all their big fucking, money-making machines they have, supposedly. These demographics go lower when these people come on. When Cope and fucking John Moxley come on, they lose fucking viewers.
That's supposed to be the opposite.
Yeah. So if you're the best wrestler in the world, then why are people clicking off the television when you start talking?
Man, AEW is in a rough spot still. Again, it's not going away anytime soon. They have the money man behind it. But geez, I try. I'm tuning in here and there. I'm not paying for anything. The only reason I even have the WWE stuff is because it's just on a pay service. And it's always been, $9.99. Now it's what, $7.99. Okay. And I get my reality competitive shows that are complete horse shit too, but they're great. But yeah, I mean, I'm not buying Max. I might buy the Disney Channel for a little bit so I can watch that Daredevil.
Yeah.
Have you watched that first series of the Daredevil?
Oh,
right?
yeah. And I was sharing a Disney Plus account with somebody, and I went to go watch it the other day, and they must have fucking canceled it. And I'm like, fuck.
Yeah. It's the worst.
It's the shits.
Damn it. Now I got to pay for it.
Yeah.
Did
They
you
got-
hear,
Yeah.
speaking of AEW again, so nobody's watching their free TV, right? Nobody's watching on Max. But they just announced it's like a drunken teenage like bullshit fucking company. They just announced a partnership with Amazon Prime, and they're going to have all their pay-per-views on there, but you have to pay $50 for them. When every other company is giving away their pay-per-views like part of a subscription bundle, instead of being able to watch their pay-per-views on Max, which would jump up their numbers, you would think, they go with Amazon Prime, and you have to pay for them when nobody's paying for pay-per-views anymore. That's why they're calling them PLEs.
Wow.
Oh, Jesus.
That's brutal.
You can't make this shit up. You can't.
If you have bought a $50, whatever, $40 pay-per-view of AEW in the chat, type a 1, please. I just got to see it. I got to see how many people are paying for this stuff, at least around here. Everybody, if you're on Twitter and X or whatever they call it these days, and TikTok, write in the chat, put a 1 if you've actually paid for an AEW show.
Or you're gonna.
Or
if you're gonna, too.
I gotta see it.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing it. Well, we're on a little bit of a lag. We'll give the people some time. We got over 120 people on 3 separate platforms, which is good. I guess it's good. That's what Reezy tells me. I say those are shit numbers. I think we need to get them higher. I think we need to retweet this out. We need to share to everybody you know that the Dr. Huge Show exists. We're here every Saturday at 2 p.m. Yep, we got a 0. Nobody's buying it. The only one that's buying it is Tony Khan.
Yeah.
Must be. He's buying them all up, just like Johnny Fratto used to do for Eric the actor. That's how he used to do it. Yeah. Zeros everywhere on the board. It's crazy.
$50 to watch John Moxley and Cope beat each other up backstage.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see that.
Well, it's the climax to Freddy vs. Jason over here. So, it's going down tomorrow night. They still do Sunday shows. WWE got me all screwed up lately with all these Saturday PLEs. Sorry, I got to be hip. It's not pay-per-views anymore. That shows my age. Don't ever say that.
It's just, we could go on for hours about how bad that company is.
Yeah, really.
It's just hours and hours of horse shit. Dave Meltzers and people setting people on fire.
Speaking of CM Punk again, though, get back to that, because there is some stuff that went on extra from his promo this past week. He called everybody bald, even though he's bald, and we went over that and how he's got the Sinestro hairdo and everything. He should just get the whole full look, get that goatee going, the little mustache,
and pointed ears, and
paint himself purple or something. Come up with a Green Lantern ring, maybe fight Shane Helms.
Yeah, that'd be good.
That'd be great. Anyway, so CM Punk gets into, he mentioned Becky Lynch, hey, Becky, come get your man before I put him in a wheelchair. And then she puts out a post with him posing with Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade, and is like, maybe somebody should come get you, your woman, or what, alluding to the fact that maybe he's banging some of these NXT broads, which is what I've been saying all along. Remember when he first showed up on NXT, I'm like, he's posing with all these young chicks. That's like the land of the young, hot chicks. So if you're CM Punk, you're one of these old, crusty wrestlers that have that fame. Oh my God, you could probably do whatever you want there. You could grab him by the pussy like Trump used to. You grab it like this.
Just throwing out pussy grabs.
So what do you think? Do you think that was a little harsh by Becky Lynch here, the man?
Yeah, considering that very quickly she took it down. So somebody got into her ear and said, "Hey, what the fuck?"
Yeah,
Yeah, that was a little. Even if that was the case, that was fucking a little too far.
yeah. Leave that to me, Becky Lynch. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm here to point that shit out, which I have.
Leave that to the professionals, Becky.
Yeah. Like Charlotte must be losing her mind too. Andrade is over here with all his shirtless, sweaty pics and things. And you don't think that he showed up? I think he might have showed up at NXT a few months ago. It doesn't matter. He's probably smashing everything in that company.
Well, she lost her ass, so I would be too.
Yep. She lost her ass and her mind and her marriage.
Yeah. Quick.
Wow. The trifecta.
It's like dominoes.
But yeah, don't be doing that, the man. This is why I don't think she's cool, Sleaze. I can really pick them out on screen who's a douchebag and who's not. Even if they're good guys or bad guys, I can see right through that. I've seen through this Cena stuff. I've seen through the Rock stuff from many times, even though I like them. And Becky Lynch, I never liked that Becky Lynch. Because how are you considered the greatest women's wrestler of all time by Sports Illustrated, and you look like that, and you wrestle like that, and you sound like that? No, it's politicking. That's what it
is. Becky Lynch, yeah, she's very cookie cutter. You know, she's not anything that stands out. Her promos are good. They're not great. Her wrestling is good. It's not great. Her presentation is good, not great. She's another one that is very fucking delusional. And I think there's a lot of backstage stuff to keep her relevant because of Seth. You know, I hate to say that, but I think it's another Undertaker Michelle McCool thing where it's like he's got so much pull now that it's like, well, you know, to make him happy, we got to make her happy.
Yes. It's very much they are a power couple in there. I haven't bought into this. I know she's good in the ring. She's a good dance partner type of deal. But
Right.
like everything else, I don't get it.
No.
I mean, she made her way in the business by getting her face broken by Nia Jax.
Right. And people forget that. That's what made her famous. And it was good for a while, and then it just everything that she does just gets so boring after a while.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? See what Nia Jax does to people? She even has the Punisher symbol on her gun here.
Right.
Yep.
Right in the gun.
That is where it is. Face planted by Raquel Rodriguez.
Yeah.
That's what you're looking at, folks. For everybody that's listening in the future on the podcast, we're gazing at Nia Jax's gun with the Punisher mask face that was made of makeup from Raquel's face onto the gunt.
Yes.
Yep.
Prominent. Scary.
Such a perfect face plant right there. Like, look at this. This is crazy. This is the greatest picture of all time, probably.
It looks like the demon that Hansy saw.
Yeah. Is this the demon that flew into you, Hansy? Let us know. Thank you. Yep.
Scary.
Nia Jax, I mean, that's why you can't even attack her with your face like that. It'll just like maybe that's Raquel trying to come out of Nia Jax's gun, kind of like Freddy Krueger. Like when he was stealing souls. Oh man, yeah. Anything can happen. You never know in this wrestling world.
Crazy shit.
Yeah.
People are fucking delusional. There's a lot of delusion in this industry. A lot of just, all right, fucking get over it.
And you know, when I think of delusional, I'm starting to think Jade Cargill. Again, the smoke. There's a lot of smoke around this Jade Cargill backstage. So there must be a fire brewing. But Jade Cargill supposedly, maybe last year, got into it with Shayna Baszler backstage. Like, you out of all the wrestlers, right? All the female wrestlers, you're gonna fuck with Shayna Baszler. You're a genius.
Yeah.
So
you can't even fake fight, let alone real fight.
Yeah.
You know.
And I can only assume and speculate here that, they were wrestling each other at the time. There was a lot of tag matches with Jade and Bianca, especially against Zoe and, that group there with that ridiculous name that I can never remember because I just refuse to. But Shayna Baszler, I guess, maybe they were upset with each other. I don't know what the case was, but Jade, again, the weight throwing around thing backstage. If Shayna Baszler is telling you you're fucking up, or if that's even what the case is, just go with it.
Yeah.
Listen, you're a noob. You just came over from AEW. I think she's too big for her britches. From a lot of stories, I heard that she even had problems with Bianca a few months back.
Right.
So again, a lot of this seems to be stemming from Jade. I don't think this is jealousy. I think the women that are just going to be like, well, she's like the next big thing. They're really pushing her. They're not going to try to get in her way. But to try to like fight with a Shayna Baszler just seems that's stupid. Come on.
There was a report I read on her too that she was, I don't know, being interviewed or something, that she said her main reason for wanting to go to WWE was to get acting roles. So like if you come out and say that, then you don't want to be in the business. Like she doesn't want to be a wrestler. She wants to be famous. So that's why she's not a good wrestler, because she's not putting 100% into it. She was given everything from AEW and translated that to the big leagues, and she still thinks she's bigger than the fucking business. And yeah, it's going to be a problem.
Yeah. Shayna, just maybe you should bite a piece of her neck out like you did Becky Lynch.
Yeah.
Go vampire.
Knock her teeth out. Something.
Yeah. Break her face, right? Like Nia Jax.
Right.
Yeah. Maybe throw her from a helicopter. I don't know. I'm just coming up with stuff. We're spitballing here, folks.
That's the equivalent of like Brock Lesnar coming up to you and you're like a year in, and he's like, "Hey, you should do this and do that," and you're like, "Fuck you, Brock Lesnar."
Yeah.
How stupid is that?
Yeah, but and I haven't seen Shayna Baszler in a while. Just saying, maybe it has something to do with it. But yeah, I've been hearing there's a lot of problems stemming from the backstage of WWE's women's division. Remember that other story with Nia Jax? Oh, there's a couple girls that won't do things for everybody. They won't bring me, lunch and stuff. So we got issues.
Yeah. I love when people are bullying people in the background. It's always been a good time. Like JBL just beating the shit out of people for no reason.
Yeah. He so many stories with him. He beat up all the French guys. Remember?
The blue meanie.
Yeah, he's acting like it's prison. He like just went after all like anybody that seemed mentally weak or physically weak. He just be on them. Yeah.
It's good. It weeds out the fucking shit people.
And then the story of like Leo Rush at the time where he wouldn't carry the bags. You remember that? They're like, oh, this guy won't carry bags.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then another story, Aleister Black was cleaning the locker room one day, and Roman Reigns went in there and said, bro, you don't need to do this anymore. But you know what? If he wasn't doing it, it probably would have been a problem, right? So that's how the wrestling business works, apparently.
Right.
So
it's almost like getting a badge of honor. You gotta earn the respect of the locker room, and just do what you gotta do for a little bit. Stop being a bunch of pussies. Like it's always been that way.
Yep. See, I would be so smart about it. Day one, I would go into the locker room, and I would just give the Undertakers and all them their whiskeys.
Yep.
I would give the New Day. I would go, here's your video games.
Right.
I'd spend like a grand. But you know what? I would do that the first day, and then anything after that would just have to be, I'll carry your bag, I'll do this and that, and then slowly work myself in. But if you go and fight any of this, it's not gonna work.
Yeah, I always heard these stories, and I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna put myself into this scenario. So if I'm an up and comer, right, and I got the privilege to be in the locker room with a fucking Undertaker, You want me to carry your fucking bags? Yes, sir. You're a legend. You know what I mean? Like, I do it out of respect. I wouldn't do something fucking stupid. But if they're wanting, I don't know. It's respect.
Yeah. But you know what the problem I think there lies is, of course, you'll have like Bubba Ray Dudley's doing that. And then you'll have
Yeah.
the Jade Cargills on the flip side of that. They're like, I'm not doing shit. I'm bigger than all of y'all.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, well, this ain't going to work out.
Right.
So I'm sure a lot of that friction is because I'm sure it's not as bad as it was in the old days, but
Oh,
still
no.
in this day and age, Nia Jax still wants her lunch, ladies.
Right.
Go fetch her food and drinks,
Yeah,
snacks.
back in the, these kids got it fucking easy. Back in the day, they used to take shits in people's bags.
Yeah.
You know, you get a punch in the face for no reason.
It's the shits.
Yep, right in your bag.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Man. Somebody should shit in Becky Lynch's bag. That's all I gotta
There you go, the man.
She's the best in the world, right?
Oh.
Here you go. Here's some shits for you then, Becky. Right in your bag.
Do it even worse, because you know she has that baby fucking running around. Take a shit in the baby bag.
How about I just take the diaper? I take the shit in the diaper and put it in the bag, and then they go, I don't know, maybe you just took the dirty diaper off. You know, it is green. All my shit's green, so they get away with it.
I don't know why you're accusing me.
Man. Well, we went over a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
We killed it. We still didn't go over Orton, though. Orton's back. He's headlocking people again. Boring the shit out of Dr. Huge. The crowd loves it, though. They love Randy Orton boring us. And he's fighting with Kevin Owens. This was exciting. He almost kicked him in the head.
Yeah. Or a lot of people saying, oh, it's 2009 Randy Orton coming out and all this stuff. And I'm like, yeah, if he's going to be like that ruthless fucking, I'll beat the shit out of anyone, I'm down for that. Which seems like that's the direction they're going with him, which is good to me.
Yep. And I was thinking the other night, too. I'm like, again, you know what? Randy Orton has an awful lot of championships. And you know who didn't watch a lot of those championship wins? Was this guy. Because it was during that Edge period again. Him and Edge and Cena must have just been that was all that was getting belts since 2000, what? 6, 7 to 2012 was pretty much all them.
It was just them three, just passing it off to each other.
It's obnoxious. So,
but who else did they have? You know what I mean? Like, I really think about the roster back then. Who did they have besides those three?
And JBL
they
had a lot of championships.
Yeah, JBL, Edge, fucking Batista. Lesnar was gone by then, I think. I can't think of like many other people.
I got to go back and watch some of that. I know there were some, monumental moments, like the whole ECW pay-per-view was probably the biggest thing. I think that's the biggest thing that seems to be coming out of that era was that. And I think it was because of the contrast. WWE is becoming so PG on TV that now when they were in the pay-per-view and it was an ECW deal and it was just and then when they made an ECW show and put it on Sci-Fi, that whole Sci-Fi stuff with SmackDown on there, that didn't give me any faith to like come running back to watching wrestling at that time.
No.
So,
and that just shows the state of the business when you have to have one of your shows on Sci-Fi.
Yeah, it's true.
You know, the TV deals weren't pouring in at that time.
Did you see the Cody promo from last night?
Yeah, and it was so fucking deflating. Like everything they built up at friggin' Elimination Chamber just totally fizzled out because of his monotone, boring ass. You know what it is? It's like feel bad for me at this point. Feel bad for me because everybody's against me, and I'm just trying to be the good guy. And I'm it's tiring. I love the whole "fuck you" Rock thing. If he could bring that shit, if he could have brought that shit to SmackDown last night, I'd be on board 100%. But he just totally deflated the whole thing.
his way of speaking is the worst. It's just like the man, where it's like I say a few words, and now I'm going to say a few more words, and then I'm going to say a few more words, and like, oh, stop sucking in air like that. I get what you're doing. You're trying to pronounce your voice and push it out more with what you're saying, but dude, that's not. Don't do that. It's so distracting to me. Put filler words in there like Dr. Huge does.
Yeah, it's like Triple H back in the day. I'm Triple H.
I'll take the Triple H over the.
What's going to happen last night is he should have come out and been pissed off at all three of them. He should have just fucking thrown the belt on the mat and said, listen, I'm going to fuck up Cena. Travis Scott broke my fucking eardrum. You're fucked. The Rock is going to get fucked up. Drop the mic and leave. That would have been perfect. But he came out with that whole, I got my suit on. Look at my black eye. What do you want to talk about? And then it ramped up at the end, and it wasn't good.
What do we want to talk about?
Yep. He hit us with one of those last night. How about talk about how Travis Scott literally slapped the shit out of your ear?
Yeah.
In your face.
Right.
I don't even think he mentioned it.
How about talking about Cena kicking you in the nuts?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, how about talk about The Rock whipping the shit out of you again?
Again. Yeah. 2 years in a row. And Cody's out here. He's doing the Batman voice and, trying to be something he's not, basically.
Yeah.
And when he's going in on this John Cena, what he was doing was painting a picture for everybody and saying John Cena is now out of that role of John Cena, and I am John Cena now because I'm the old John Cena that holds the belt and that goes to the Make-A-Wishes, and that's the ultra good guy. He's given up that. He says that nobody else can get to that point. I have done it, and now I'm going to maintain it. Do you like that? Does that make sense to you?
No, because it was everything we already knew. He was telling us all the same what we already know. Why come out for fucking 10 minutes and reiterate everything that we just basically put together in our skulls?
Yeah.
Like it wasn't needed.
Yeah.
Keep him off TV or have him come out, like I said, and be pissed. That's what I was expecting. I said to myself when I was watching it, I said, okay, when Cody comes out, he's going to be fucking mad. And he came out, the way you talking about, and then fucking all this other just shit we already knew. Thank you. Thanks for the recap.
Yeah, it was totally not necessary. I think that they do it because they know it's going to get people watching. They want to see what he's got to say about it. And then he comes out there and doesn't say really anything. He says everything we already know, like you said. So cool. Yeah.
It was, I could see it on a business standpoint because they promote it and say, well, Cody Rhodes is going to come out and say something tonight. And then they don't deliver. It's just a means to get him out there. So all the kids can go, yo. And
you're our Cena now, basically. We'll give all the money to you then.
Right.
That's what they did. I'm Cena now. You're bad. So all the money and all that merch stuff, buy my stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. He's a walking commercial at this point.
Yep.
And but not a good one.
Before.
Yeah. Talk about
it really. Once you hear that, like I have months and months ago, I can't unhear it now. Yeah. And when he cuts these promos, I'm just like, shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a couple more.
Back in the day when Cena was Super Cena and all that shit, at least when he came out and did a promo, it was realistic. This is my problem with Cody, and it has been for ever since he's come back. He's not believable. You don't believe him. You don't think that this is a guy coming out that's talking from, his heart and all that, as cliche as that sounds. Where Cena could sell that shit for you.
Yeah, it's going to be when John Cena talks back to Cody, Cody's going to get, he's not even on that close to that level of promo. He's good. He can cut a promo and he can make it through the segment, but he's not going to give you CM Punk, John Cena, The Rock, Stone Cold, HBK even level promos. It's just not in him.
No, it isn't. It's not his strong suit.
Mm-hmm. So quick other notes before we sign off here, but Lex Luger going in the Hall of Fame. He's been brought up lately. He's been hanging with DDP. He's standing up again, which is good news. And also, he's not taking any credit for Miss Elizabeth passing. Do you have any takes on this and what he had to say about it?
It's so hard because back in the day when I was a kid, I liked him and all that stuff. And then, you hear that story and you mix it in with lately, people are saying, well, he's had a real fucking hard time and all this. And it's like, yeah, but he also probably had something to do with the death of Macho Man's ex-wife. Nobody's bringing up that shit. But I mean, if Jimmy Snuka can be in the Hall of Fame, I mean,
yeah, why not? Right.
Yeah.
It's not like he was, holding her by the throat and opening her mouth and pouring beer and stuff into it and booze and drugs and whatever else. But again, I wasn't there. But at the same time, it's one of those things. Everybody's got a mind of their own. And if you're going to do what other people want you to do, then I don't know who's really culpable. It's your body.
Right.
So
there was one thing that was brought up, and I'm behind it 100%. So they have the Warrior Award they give out every year. And a lot of people are saying they should have an award for DDP. Like, honestly.
Yeah.
Because he's helped so many fucking people. And he should really be recognized for that.
Mm-hmm. He helped us and come on the show and and got disappointed with us very quickly.
Yeah, he tried like hell, but
he's like, wait, you're eating this and you're smoking that and you're drinking that. Like, he's like, why am I even here?
Yeah.
He was like mad at us.
He has so many accomplishments with people, but I'm sure in the back of his head that one disappointment is always sticking in there. Maybe we're driving him to, to do more, from his disappointment with us.
Yep. He's like, you guys, I can't help you guys.
No.
He's like, I can help Jake the Snake, who's literally laying on the floor and can't move his big toe. But you guys, too much.
I can help Scott Hall, who's half dead.
Yeah.
But you guys, nope.
He's like, I would have better chances with Scott Hall right now than helping either one of you. So thank you.
Didn't you call him or text him once and he's like, yeah, I'm in a jacuzzi. I don't want to talk to you right now.
Well, it's two separate things. So the first thing blew my mind too. Because, we're just getting this podcast going. We're just doing the live streams and I'm networking. And I managed to get DDP on. I talked to him at a Chinese restaurant when I was hanging out with all the other wrestlers. And we're all, chilling and doing legend things. And DDP calls me right when Raw starts one night. And I'm like, this is weird. And I pick up and I'm like, what's going on? And he's shooting the shit. He just talking about, I'm in a hot tub and just basically just shooting the shit about wrestling and podcasts.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, like this is weird. You know what I mean? Like especially this is before I was talking to Kevin Sullivan and everybody else. So I'm just like, all right, I got DDP calling me. And then after that, he comes on the show, does the show. Then we had the 100th episode. This is where I was like, what's going on with this DDP? But I sent him a quick text, just, hey, I'm having a 100th episode. Would you mind cutting like a 15-second? This is great. You have 100 episodes or whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? Like one of those for Dr. Huge. And he's like, bro, I'm in such and such country. I don't have time to blah, blah, blah. I think he was thinking I was trying to get him back on like immediately when that wasn't the case. I just wanted a quick, like, hey, take 15 seconds for me, do a video, send it to me, be done. And you won't hear from me for years. Right. Couldn't do it. So I'm coming for you, DDP. I haven't forgotten about you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Coming for
you. Because I remember that we had a bunch of people that we recorded saying, hey, good job with the 100 fucking episodes and all that.
Yep.
Yeah. And
he couldn't be bothered. He was busy and, I'm like, oh, okay. It was funny that he would even answer me back that,
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm like, I didn't ask you to like build the Great Wall of China or anything, you know. But
It's probably
anyway,
because initially he was like, "Oh, this is cool. I'm gonna, I could shoot the shit with him." Then he comes on the show, and he's like, "Wow, these guys are fucked."
yeah, the show
I
is
should
really
probably
what
take my
did it,
name
yeah.
off this shit.
Yeah. And then like a couple weeks later, he goes on Joe Rogan, and Joe Rogan's stealing my guess. So
Yeah,
thanks, Joe.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Those-
Dallas, thanks, Dallas.
Again, Joe Rogan's podcast, everybody seems to like it. This is better, technically, if you are into wrestling and you like funny stuff, because you really think Joe Rogan's funny.
No,
Really? You guys are you watching it and listening to that because he's hilarious. All right. Okay.
you ever seen his stand up? It's terrible. It's
Mhm.
unwatchable.
Unwatched. It's the worst thing in the world.
Bad.
And you know what? How about this? If we want to go down that conspiracy thing again, I don't think this Joe Rogan's up to any good. Who gets big as Joe Rogan in this day and age? Who gets as big as The Rock? And they don't have, and that, listen, I could go down a rabbit hole with this with you guys and bring up people that have been, I'm not getting into it. It's too deep. It's just, it goes too deep.
much.
I'm telling you that there's something there with that Joe Rogan, everybody. Nobody gets that famous as a Joe Rogan without connections, as we've talked about before. That's how all this works. He's made the connections, and so that's why he's got everybody's ears.
Yep.
But it's time to let go of that a little bit. You can still listen to Joe Rogan. I'll allow it. But at the same time, you must go to Dr. Huge Show on YouTube and subscribe there. Follow me all over the internet. Follow the show. We're here every Saturday, 2 p.m. to do this for all of you. And then we got merch right here. Support the show by buying some merch. You could go and buy this album over here that I made, music, or you could just go to Spotify and listen to it for free. Follow me over there. It's all about boosting up these numbers, right? But I'm not doing it in a dishonest way. I don't have fake numbers. There aren't fake viewers. I don't have the money to pay for that, okay? I'm paying for enough. I got all kinds of subscriptions to everything so that I can watch everything and use everything to make the show, and a little help would be nice. So that's how you can do it, folks. Shout out to everybody watching right now. You guys are the icons. Do you have anything you would like to say to the audience? Any plugs, any, showings of the sleaze anywhere?
Yeah, you can find me on all socials at the SLZ52. Higher Love Creations. Check her out. If you guys need videos or anything done, she's excellent. She does all our stuff. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys.
Yep. And don't forget, Sean Ross Sapp, you shouldn't have blocked me. I don't know how I got blocked. I heard he was brought up this week, all the stuff before the chamber, and he was leaking things, apparently. I don't even know. I don't care.
He's an asshole.
But I went and looked it up because people are all fighting and they're all, getting whooped up. And I'm like, well, this is wrestling news. I have to analyze this. So I went in and he blocked me. And I said, Sean Ross Sapp blocked Dr. Huge. What are you, racist?
Must be.
Must be racist. Let's go with that. All right. Thank you, everybody. Everybody have a good night and or a good afternoon, wherever you're from. Don't forget, again, follow us everywhere. Hit those buttons, especially the like buttons. It helps us out. It's so obnoxious that I have to keep bringing this up, but you got to hit the buttons for us, everybody. 140 viewers watching us right now, Sleaze. We're doing it. We're killing it. By next week, 250, right? We're moving on up. I used to get so scared when 9 people were in a room. I want 9,000. I want 9 million people watching. I won't be scared at all. I'm not scared of any of you people anymore. All right. I'm big.
Yeah, you ain't shit.
All right. And people always will come on the show sometimes, Sleaze, and that before the show starts, they start breathing like this. And I'm like, what's going on over there? You're all nervous. There's nothing to be nervous. Nobody can do anything to you on here.
Yeah, you're safe.
Yep. unless I jump through the screen, the ring style and start punching people's faces. It could happen someday, folks. This technology is getting pretty good. Anyway, you guys are doing great. Shout out to Coach. Shout out to Paladin. Shout out to Philly Sports Pride, Sasha Reigns, who came through, and everybody that's watching. You guys are the best, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.
Titillate the juices. You know what? Woo! Right now. Woo! 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 Woo!
Dr. Hughes invites followers. Oh, let's see if they increase now. Me too. Yeah, wow. Dr. Hughes.
Mock-ass mock.
He's a great podcaster.
Trick-ass mock.
Acknowledge me.
We got it for you, nigga. Fat!
Yeah, Dr. Hughes, here we go. Keep plugging yourself, that's cool.
First up, a man whose looks will serve your inner needs and desires.
Dr. Hughes.
It's such good shit.